Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 1980 Subaru BRAT GL. Now this has 957 horsepower, 628 pounds-feet of torque from a 4 litre twin turbocharged flat 6 engine. The car itself now weighs 2,072 pounds, still has its all-wheel drive system, but it now has off-road tyres and off-road suspension, and it can now do 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, 0 to 104.567 seconds, and going to a top speed of 245 miles an hour. So yeah, the fastest Subaru we've had on this series so far has been the WRX STI ARX supercar, which was a really rather quite quick vehicle that was yeah, surprisingly adept at dealing with these kind of conditions that we have on this course. But yeah, I'm not expecting this to be as quick as that, given this is way older, and yeah, the handling and braking in terms of the start at least isn't particularly great. Certainly isn't far better from other vehicles, even from around this kind of period, than that. But the speed, acceleration, launch and off-road capability are really rather great, so who knows, maybe all that will make up for it. So yeah, let's get out there and see what this car can do. So yeah, obviously it's also quite lightweight, which we have feared before, you know, doing a number on a vehicle before with the likes of the Toyota Sports 800, but that didn't get trucked around anywhere near as much as we anticipated. So, and this isn't a heavier car than that as well. So yeah, hopefully the lack of weight will only be a benefit and not a negative. Now, one advantage it does have is the fact that the all-wheel drive is native to the car. So yeah, that's not something additional that it's going to have to deal with, but yeah, it certainly wasn't meant for this level of power. It's nearly 900 horsepower extra. And yeah, it looks like some of the aspects of this car are struggling, because we've gotten at least one time there that I saw where one of the front wheels was rising up into the air, and we've also nearly rolled it at one point already as well. So yeah, whether this is going to survive the course without any rewinds being used, we'll have to see. It's doing a decent job so far. Outside of those couple of handling quirks, we've not had any real issues. Again, one of the front wheels looked like it was coming up into the air, which isn't the worst thing ever, obviously. If it's only one wheel that's doing that, obviously it does reduce your steering and braking by half, but still, it's not the worst thing ever. But the issue would be if it kept doing that to the point where it lifts both wheels up into the air, which would obviously completely hinder our handling and most of our braking. So for now, that does not seem to be an issue. Get in front around a bit there. Let's take some creative racing lines to keep it on the straight and narrow. But because it's quite a small car, and obviously it's not weighing very much, it is quite nimble. So a bit more speed down there than we did in the Honda Ridgeline in the previous episode. Would be quite hilarious if this did beat that Honda, given this was not meant for doing this. Yeah, it was meant for dealing with some off-road conditions with the all-wheel drive system being native to the car, but it really wasn't meant for going off-road quickly. And yeah, anything in terms of off-road that it was meant to deal with would have been maybe something that was slightly out of the reach of a normal rear-wheel drive or front-wheel drive car, but certainly not to the level of, say, a Range Rover or a Toyota FJ40 from the same kind of period. well, we're not as quick as the Honda Ridgeline from the previous episode, and we only just managed to get across the finish line. But yeah, 3 minutes 25.814 is fairly decent for a car that is dealing with way more power than it ever had originally, and obviously as a consequence of that, also more in the way of acceleration and speed. So yeah, where are we? So yeah, we're only just over a second slower than the Honda Ridgeline, which, considering that's a trophy truck, which is meant for dealing with going off-road at speed, is fairly impressive. And yeah, we're not the slowest Subaru either, as I think the Subaru STI S209 is way slower. But then again, that was one of the first cars that we ever used on this series, so take that with a pinch of salt, I guess. But yeah, still, we are quicker than the likes of the Aston Martin Valhalla concept car, Bentley Turbo R, the Subaru Legacy RS, which is a newer car than this, as well as the McLaren GT, the Audi TT RS, the Cadillac XTS Limousine, and the Oldsmobile Tornado. In terms of kind of off-road vehicles, the Porsche 911 Desert Flyer, the Land Rover Defender 110X, the new Ford Bronco, and the Toyota Land Cruiser AT37. But we are slightly behind the likes of the Mini John Cooper Works GP, Dodge Magnum SRT8, Renault Megane RS250, and other off-road vehicles like the GMC Jimmy, the Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro, and the Toyota Hilux AT38. So yeah, it's kind of like in the middle of the leaderboard, really. It's only just outside of the top 50 by one place. So yeah, it's about the middle of the leaderboard overall, as we have now taken how many cars? Yeah, this is our 88th vehicle so far, so yeah, we're about the midway mark. So yeah, not awful or anything like that. Oops, I seem to have pressed a button by accident. So yeah, not awful by any means, but yeah, it's definitely a you know, not the easiest of cars to get right. As you saw there, we were struggling at times to get it in a straight line, and on occasion the front wheels were doing their own kind of thing. But yeah, regardless, it is still a cracking vehicle, and yeah, one that I highly recommend getting on the Festo playlist. You only have to get 80 points for it, and yeah, it's well worth getting because you can have plenty of fun with it in stock form or otherwise. Nonetheless, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you with the next one. Bye.